Oh, guys, you can't hear me? Are you serious? That sucks. That truly does suck. Peace, beloved, peace. It's your homie, Young Content, the unofficial sensei of the culture. I just literally did that whole rant. TDLR, Ben's here. He's safe. You can hear me now. Let me stop talking because I just literally failed there. Let's poof to Ben right now. What's up, dude?
You hey, safe? What's up?
The ninjas got you in there safe, right?
Yeah.
I know they were carrying you all like tiny ninjas on your back, and you got to the location safe. So that's all that matters.
Definitely. Yeah, that was fun. No, it's great. Thanks for having me back, man. It's always fun. It's always a pleasure.
Dude, I love talking to you. It's a breeze. It's like walking on the beach. Super breezy. It flows. Some stuff just flows, man. Speaking of flow, how's your flow? How's your ebb and flow after New York? Rested, more creative than ever.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool to get like the pulse of like the NFT just industry on every level, like from artists to collectors and like VCs and investors and stuff. And it was just cool to get like the overall vibe and tone of everything, and hopefully get a sense for like maybe where things are going and everything. And it was really cool.
Nice. Yeah, I've been evangelizing for Huxley like a weirdo. Like I feel like a cult leader or something. I really do, dude. I really people are like, dude, what should I be
Appreciate it,
buying?
man. Appreciate it.
And I'm like, there's only one thing you should be buying. You could literally be buying these like PFPs. We don't know where they're going. They seem like they get a massive whale pump and then they settle. But like something like what you're doing, Huxley. Are you getting a lot of evangelism? You feel like you're getting a lot of it's organic. I feel like the stuff you're doing is
Yeah,
organic as fuck.
yeah, it's been cool because yeah, because it's not. It definitely feels like a different approach to what is typically going on in the NFT space, where it's more like, which I don't know if is like good or bad thing, but it's just different, and it just felt like the right way for me to do it, coming from my background working in, you know, big games and film stuff. So like this is how things were typically kind of done in that space, and just felt like the right way to do it, just because so much of the work is already done. It's like, what's the most interesting way to like introduce a big IP to a new audience and allow it to grow? And it's been interesting. Yeah.
I got a really interesting, like my brain is fucking on firing on all cylinders after you just said that. But let me say hi to the audience.
Sure.
Brandon, who cares? Says no, Mike. Sorry, dude. Metamori, we can now. Metamori in the building. He has arrived. Hide
Metamori.
everything. You hide your collection, literally. Nathrax, grandma is coming for sure. Matthew Lewis on now. Nice Halo setup. Someone said you got a Halo setup on it. You got a Halo setup? Where's it at?
Well,
I can't see. My eyes are so small.
well, it's right in front of me. Like the Halo setup's right here.
The full gear.
I do have my, I keep my Xbox controller like for PC, because I'm more of a
Did you play with controller, dude?
PC gamer. Just for like, I was trying the Forza Horizon, and it's a lot easier with controller.
Wow.
But for FPS, I'm still too much mouse and keyboard kind of
Does
guy.
Halo have that aimbot with the controller? Just aim straight to your
I
head,
think there's
dude?
always aim assist on every.
I don't
Anytime
like
using
aim
controllers,
assist,
there's always
dude. I'm
aim
not a fan
assist.
of aim assist, dude.
It's funny because like I was really into Apex Legends, and like on PC I would just get like destroyed, and then I played on Xbox with aim assist, and I'm like, I know I'm not this good. Like, I really know I'm not this good. And I was just, and then I went back to PC and it was just like destroyed. And you're like, okay, what's going on here?
That wrist work is different, especially on archaic mouses, dude. Just a fucking Dell mouse. That wrist work is crazy. Not mine, but some streamers I see, their wrist work is crazy. The flicks. Yo. Rince says, what's up? MNK for life. Controller needs aim assist to compete. I know, dude. Arcan says, welcome. Guys, 12 viewers. We got to get to 20. I need to break that 50 mark. This is an undervalued stream. But thank you for all being here. Let's get into the combo. So, dude, I've been doing a lot of R&R on you. I saw an Unreal Engine video. I think I went into your Twitter Spaces. You have an auction going down. Kind of talk about what's happening in the Huxley verse.
Sure. So this week is like a huge week of auctions. We're auctioning off the low serials like 1 through 10.
You have some of that stuff I could see, right? You send that to me?
Yeah, send that to you. We're currently on serial number 4, which ends in like 3 hours, 2 hours 50 minutes, and today I think it's just 2, it's 4 and 3, and then tomorrow is 1 and 2, and that'll be the last day. And each one comes with matching serial gold, and also a Genesis token, which you can redeem for the robot avatars that are coming up for Genesis Week. And
I'm looking at this number 7 right now, sold for 333, angel number.
Yeah, issue 7.
What a great name! What a great whoever got number 7. It's like solid number.
Yeah, issue number 7 sold for 5.6 ETH, which was wild. That's probably the biggest one so far, which was, it's been cool to see the bidding wars happening. And like I think last night there was a new bidder that came in, and there was literally like 1 second on the clock, and they got in a bid. Like we all thought it was over, and then just 1 second left, and he just got the bid in at the last minute. That's
how they do it.
It's like an MMA fight or something. It's pretty crazy.
The cool thing about number 7 though, because don't you have something called Fury 7? Do you think people correlated with that?
It's possible too. Yeah, it's tied to the book, but also I think seven's a pretty special number to a lot of people. Pretty lucky number. So a lot of people really wanted that one, which is it's cool to see.
Why did you name it Fury 7 before we go into the deeper auction stuff?
I think it's just, I don't know, it just felt right. It just sounded like a very interesting, cool name for this planet, this kind of destroyed, wasted planet.
It's not a kind planet, is it? Because
No.
I read issue 1 and just seeing merchants and seeing very intimidating figures there. Very Tatooine, huh?
A little bit, yeah. There's kind of, I mean, it's hard to avoid a story on a desert planet. You know, there's always going to be those comparisons. But there's always a ton of, I guess it's just one of my favorite settings in sci-fi, right? Like, I mean, even like Judge Dredd and stuff, there's always elements of this kind of like either ruined America or ruined planet, or it's always just I don't know. I guess it's just ingrained in my childhood growing up, these kind of like cool stories in desert planets. Or
like why is every sci-fi in a desert, dude? Like, let's get a sea. That's why I like Foundation when they were underground. Level 80, and seeing the hologram of the, I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Or even like the complete opposite, I guess, would be like Avatar. It's just like complete like jungle planet and stuff. So like there's definitely like a huge range of things you can explore.
I love that. And then you said there's other, let me find the auction page. This is auction details.
So 1 and 2, there's a ton of stuff that you get with those two. Issue 1, you also get the holo along with the gold and normal edition, and there's only 10 holos, but bidding on issue 1 is the only way to secure or like ensure you definitely get a holo. And then in issues 1 and 2 serial gets you a Lago frame as well, which is like a $10,000 digital frame, and we have a partnership with them, and we're going to do something cool like Huxley experience on this frame. And
did you find Lago, or they found you? Was it a match made in heaven?
I think our team is good friends with them, the feature team, and they loved what we were doing with Huxley, and they really liked the project, and thought seemed like they loved to have a partnership with us to help push it out there.
Have they brung out a prototype product or this is their first product prototype, like out in the market?
I think this might be their first one. I think 888 is the only one who actually has the only
888.
Like he has the first one. I think the only like collector who has like one. I think he might be an investor and working with them to make like the best frame of his dreams kind of thing. And so like I think we only saw some early prototypes. And then I think last week we got to see the like more official final ones, and it's just beautiful. It looks amazing. Like I want one too. It looks incredible. It's like a really sexy, classy like product that you'd want to have on your wall.
You know, when in Best Buy, when you go to the Magnolia Theater, you ever been in the Magnolia Theater in Best Buy? It's like the high-end room with all the high-end audio and frames.
Yeah.
It's like that's what it looks like. It looks like something that needs to be like elite. Like it needs to be in Elysium somewhere, you know?
Yeah, no, it does. It does. It gives off that like kind of Elysium vibe or something.
I'm looking at this bid for issue number 4. They got 2 hours left. How do you extend the bidding?
Anyone who bids like below 10 minutes, and it adds another 10 minutes. It's been fascinating to see because like the normal bid is usually pretty low for most of the time. Then like usually like the last 10 minutes, then it just like it starts coming in, and it's like Clash of the Titans or something. If everyone coming in and bidding at the last minute, it's pretty exciting to watch these.
Well, I gotta guys in the stream. I gotta give you. Hold on. Yeah, I gotta play some tunes underneath. I feel like there needs some tunes. Just small, subtle.
Yeah, all good.
Chill synth wave.
For sure.
Sorry.
Let's do it.
I need to spice up the stream, man. Only like 12 viewers, dude. I need to get like 100 viewers. I'm just joking. Speaking of that, everyone knows you've been working on this stuff for 10 years. Being in the shadows, would you feel like you were in the shadows as a child with your storytelling? Did you feel like when you, like, maybe in school, talent shows, you were trying to tell some stories then? Any catalyst, a moment there that was like, dude, fuck these people, I'm gonna tell stories the rest of my life?
I don't know. I think I was always pretty introspective. I think most artists are pretty introspective growing up. Like when I was little, I was just like drawing comics and things, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I liked drawing and like telling stories. And I think even then, though, you're like, I want to make a comic or want to make a book, and I make like animal, like snake books and like dinosaur books and stuff. And like, here's all the dinosaurs. So I was kind of like doing that when I was little for fun, but I never really thought about like doing that later. And it is kind of a full circle if I look back, like where I started as a kid. It's like I'm kind of doing much better versions of like all these things I thought were cool and fun when I was little.
Have you ever auctioned those like Ben Mauro baby pieces?
No, I haven't. I should probably dig those up. It's pretty funny to look at. But it's kind of the same thing. It's like I went back like after I worked on some films and stuff, and it's like, oh, here's all these like dinosaur books and weird creatures, and it's like I'm kind of doing that just much better now. It's kind of interesting, but I don't know if there's much of a. I think the catalyst was more of just like the realities of working in the entertainment industry for other people, and just the desire to like, okay, I helped other people tell their dream stories and their dream projects, and now it's my turn to take all those experiences and expertise and do it on my own stuff.
Do you have like a, James Cameron has Titanic. I actually saw Titanic. I'm like, dude, James Cameron made that shit. And do you have like a Titanic in you, or is it all sci-fi?
I don't know. I'm sure there's some more like real world kind of stories I'd love to tell, like real world dramas and stuff. And but for now, like I feel like Huxley's gonna take up just a ton of time. But there's a lot of opportunities within just Huxley, like whether that's different moments in time, because this is like a long history of things, different planets and things, different types of stories that could be told. So there's opportunities to tell more like real world kind of drama type stories that maybe don't have too much sci-fi elements. Yeah. But I think a lot of it is just creating a world that has room for all these other kind of stories if I want to tell them.
I love that. Ask Ben if he's going to NFT Vegas in March. You like gambling, dude?
Not really, but Vegas is always fun.
You like the pool?
I watch my friends do it. Yeah, Vegas would be fun. Wait, someone else was saying, okay, it's in March, and then someone else was saying there's like a 3/11 day for the band. I think it was Coach in the Discord. He was like, "Oh, you gonna go 3/11 day?" And I was like, "I never heard of that." And I was like, "Oh man, I haven't listened to that band." And I used to listen to them all the time when I was growing up, and like,
you were sublime.
I just hadn't thought about it, and like, and I started getting into it a bunch when that happened. So maybe Vegas NFT event, and then the 3/11 day, and then the 3/11 day
movie. A lot of people are going to Vegas. I think they're gearing NFT LV or something like that. I heard it's going to be huge.
Cool. Well, yeah, that should be good timing. I think there's some stuff in Miami, but we might be pretty heavy into.
Are you going to Miami?
Huxley. I think we might be pretty heavy into production, not Huxley stuff, so it might be tough. But
I'm not going. See. I wish I would go, but there's just Art Basel and I feel like eventually Huxley is gonna make it into, what's that film festival in the mountains, Cannes?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Do you think that stuff is too elite for Huxley, or do you think they'll appreciate it?
I don't know. I'm not sure how many. I guess like Dune was in Cannes, right?
Mm-hmm. So
like they are open to like sci-fi, but I guess Dune is a whole other beast for sure. Like, yeah, we'll see. that would be an honor for sure.
Metamori says, will there be a reward for original minting wallets, or will future rewards be tied specifically to the NFTs themselves? Because we see projects where you have to hold it in a wallet by the snapshot 5, or is it just pontificated on the NFT?
I think the way the team is doing it is it's checking the wallet. So if the wallet has 5 or something, that would be the snapshot to know like you have it. But the dev team is handling that. I make the art, so I'd probably let them handle the more technical questions.
Was that Seb and his team?
Yeah, Seb, Crypto Arte, and all those guys are handling all that.
Dude, when I was so bummed because I'm not like a celebrity like you in New York, so I couldn't go into the proof of party. They were like, get out of here, you're not on the list. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna do the walk of shame to the pizza spot, and you popped in, and there was a moment in there when I'm like looking at you. I'm like, who is this? Like, this dude. I seen this motherfucker, dude. Like he definitely. I was like, dude, this guy looks familiar. It looks like a fucking movie character or something. And then boom, and that was like that was destiny.
Oh, I knew. Yeah, I got my pizza. I look, and like, it's young.
But there's Robert Trevino right there too.
Yeah, I missed. You stole the show from Robbie.
Dude, Robbie was this. I'm like,
and
dude,
then I saw Robbie. That was like, yeah, New York and pizza shops and just like the most random like gatherings at 3 a.m. It was pretty awesome, and yeah, it's super cool.
Did you what were you drinking that? I mean, I love that you actually love to be involved in like parties and stuff, and you maintain yourself. I feel like all the parties you went to, you made great connections. Yeah,
it was fascinating because like, I mean, that was kind of the reason to go, right? It's like spread the word of Huxley out there and let everyone know, or just like, just ask people like, hey, what brought you to New York? What are you doing? And a lot of people were just there for fun, and a lot of them were just like VCs and like people, and it was like, oh, what are you invested in? What kind of things? Like, why did you invest in this over this? And explaining what I was doing and showing them some secret stuff to get them excited, and so that was fun as well.
Yeah, secret stuff, dude. You showed me the secret stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I was like, dude, Monday is coming. Secret stuff reveal. I can fucking share this shit with like grandma, my mom. And I'm like, damn it. But I don't want to rush the process.
It's coming. It's coming, but it's like, it's more about just timing. Like, when is the best time to release something like that in the process? Because there's a lot of other things coming, and we just want to make sure it's like not too much too early, and
a lot of other things too, like that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Some cool stuff. But a lot of it is just. But again, it's like a lot of it is like. Also, I think a lot of the stuff in that is maybe moments from the story that we haven't released yet. So I want to make sure the amount of story we released are around the point of some of the stuff we showed.
Wow. Let me shout out to the chat. Karu Ash, come original. I can't say this name. Altapia. What's up, young? Cool to see Ben back on the show. Well, we love Ben. He's in the Hall of Fame of the Young Content shows. Matthew Lewis, with everything already created and now being released, what is the next progression of Huxley beyond the comic that you envision? A movie, a game, something else? I think I could say that it's all in the works. It's all in the multiverse. You're building a multiverse.
Yeah, all the above. I mean, again, it's like, that's my background, right? Like, my background is building like billion-dollar franchises for the biggest directors and companies, and that's just kind of been my life. So I would say taking all those experiences and doing it for myself. Yeah.
I love that. How was the Halo night? I missed it. Was hanging with my kids. You, speaking of that, you did a Halo night with your community. Like, you actually worked on the game as a senior, like a concept designer.
Senior concept designer for a little over 3 years.
That game?
Designed a ton of stuff on Halo Infinite and did a ton of work with an awesome team. And I think right now it's just a multiplayer. The campaign comes out December 8th. And I think it's been cool to see the reaction to the multiplayer, and people are just going wild trying to unlock the battle pass and stuff. And we're also giving away a custom Halo Xbox Series X.
Sheesh.
That's pretty rare. It's already sold out everywhere, and I have one that I'll give away to anyone who bids and wins on the auctions. Will have a chance from issues, I think, 3 to 10. So any winners of 3 through 10 will get we'll pick a random winner to get next gen Xbox Series X custom Halo edition. Actually, I have it right here.
Steven said that shit looks like a computer.
It's crazy. Like it's big, man.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh la la.
It's super heavy, man.
Is that the only one you have?
Yeah, just one. So yeah, I can sign and stuff for anyone who wants it. But yeah, it's cool, man. Like, it was totally surprised that it was the game was getting out early, and it's been fun to see people play. And we'll probably do more gaming nights.
Did you get walked?
No, we actually did pretty well. I was surprised. Like, we did pretty well. We started playing ranked and stuff, and I think I'm in like platinum 5 or 6, which is pretty good. I was like, maybe it's early, so I got the ranking was wow. Easy, so I got in a higher rank.
What are some of your favorite assets that you built in the game? Can you like maybe give me 1 or 2 that stick out
Sure.
in Halo Infinite?
I was involved in a lot of the Forerunner, like trying to bring back the kind of legacy, like old school Forerunner stuff from like the earlier games. I think that was one of the things that the fans really loved, and I was such a huge fan. Like in high school, like the reason I wanted to be an artist was because like Halo 1, I saw the Forerunner stuff and was like, that's so cool. I wanted to design architecture for games, and specifically like this Forerunner stuff. And it took me like a long time to finally come back around and work on the franchise. But once I got there, it was like, there was a push for people wanting that old stuff again. And so a lot of the work I did was trying to update and reinterpret this like legacy stuff that I grew up loving. And so it was kind of like a dream job for me, for sure. So like a lot of the bigger structures in the open world that are Forerunner, like these big towers, and some of the I think some of the screenshots you see, it's like this big kind of structure that shoots out a beam of light. It's kind of a callback to the old Halo 1 when you land on the ring, that kind of silver structure that shoots the beam. And I designed that, the new one for Halo Infinite. So that was like a big like bucket list check for me. I was just like super excited to see how that turned out really cool. And then a lot of the dungeons and things underground when you go into the belly of the ring, and I think people really enjoy that. It's very like, I can't say too much, but I think it's people who like Halo, I think they'll really dig it.
Dude, just seeing like now how people play Fortnite and how Ninja started in Halo, and a lot of these OG streamers that we see today that play Apex, and they all started in Halo somewhere. Halo is always this OG, CS:GO 2 and Half-Life and all this stuff. But
for sure,
does it mean a lot to you that this classic IP is like ingrained with you? It'll kind of die with you too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something about growing up with that stuff, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure everyone has their game growing up that they're just like, that's my, whether that's like Final Fantasy VII or whatever they grew up with. But for me, that was kind of, I don't know, something about Halo, it was just like that game, like going to your friend's house. It's like early, a lot of us weren't on PC gaming at the time. So a lot of like the only opportunity for like multiplayer was like something like Halo, with like bring our 4 Xboxes, we LAN party, and we have all these TVs in a basement or something.
Guys, my back hurts. I carried 2 Xboxes upstairs.
Like, what are you doing over there? Let me see
brick.
the screen.
Concrete
block.
The
old Xbox.
Oh, I love that.
It was giant. Yeah.
Yeah, people had fun. People. The game, the jumping mechanics, the quick scoping. Does Halo now
grenade
have
hand? Grenade hand.
That
was big too. It was just like one button for grenade and then punching. I think that was pretty big too. And recharging shields. That was the first, I think, for Halo as well.
They did their thing.
Recharging shield.
Added up what's going on. Like the original, we're talking about the original Halo. Some guy in the metaverse, Skyrim PlayStation load times led me to switch majors to computer engineering. Whoa. What the fuck? I don't even know about that. Load times have changed.
It's funny. It's like, and then what's the opposite? It's like, didn't Vitalik say the reason he made Ethereum was because World of Warcraft updated their stats, and it completely nerfed his character? And he's like, screw this, I'm gonna make a decentralized thing that no one can mess with.
Sheesh.
It's fascinating, just like the connectedness with video games and the decisions in our lives. It's pretty cool.
I love that. Does Halo have a battle royale?
No, I don't think so.
They
it's
didn't
just
get a
the
BR name?
normal MP. Yeah, it's just the kind of traditional Halo arenas and big team battles and stuff like that.
Wow, they literally probably listened to their audience. And speaking of listening, is that something that someone said use the Hux tag in Halo? But
oh yeah, I have a Hux tag.
A Hux tag.
I guess that's our clan name or whatever.
Are you prone to listening to your community? I know Quentin Tarantino was at NFT NYC, and I keep bringing this up, and people in the crowd were he was kind of, it was foreign idea to him that you can crowd fundraise, like GoFundMe your movie, and he said something like it's already hard with enough cooks in the kitchen, something to that extent. Are you about having cooks in the kitchen, or do you kind of just like your IP not to be messed with?
I guess it depends on the context. Like I know once a movie or something happens, it's just gonna, the more people get involved, the more compromises you need to make. So like, I feel like me making the comic 100% myself was like that was the thing. It's like, okay, I did it. I know I can do it. Now, once anything else happens, I'm more open to like working with people, and I know it won't be 100% my thing, but that's kind of okay. You know, that's just part of how it works. But hopefully finding partners whenever that stuff happens to make something that I'm proud of and does the story and the franchise justice. And yeah.
Dude, you could let me micromanage the film set. I would love to micromanage the shit out of everything, you know? I'm a real good micromanager.
Yeah, for sure, man. No, it's interesting though, because like I think Tarantino was like, I think I listened to the same one you were talking about, and like yeah, it's interesting because like there's a lot of stuff with DAOs and things like this where it's like, okay, you could get a DAO to help fund your next movie, Quentin, but then I think he was concerned, like, does that mean like 5,000 people are going to be giving me notes on where I take the story? And this kind of, I think from his standpoint, I could see that being, even with studios, have to do like 5 holders that hold holographic or some shit.
Something,
like, yeah. Because like say if a movie studio funds it, maybe there's like 1 to 4 people giving him notes.
Yeah,
but
executive producer.
I think his concern was like, okay, if there's DAOs or like 1 to 4,000 people giving me notes on where this goes, and
yeah.
I could see him being like, I don't know, like, is that
he already gets mad? I've seen some Oblivion NPC stuff where the camera's following him. Hey, what are you doing? And he's like, he was like, hit me. He was like, it's just funny. Quentin Tarantino is a great mad writer. Speaking of mad writer and taking notes, I'm showing the stream your this apocalyptic desk you have here with just drawings, notes. I think it was 7 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. That was a long time ago.
Can you run us back into this environment, like, and smell it and kind of bring those memories back?
So at that time, that's when I was kind of traveling the world with my wife, and I kind of sold all my belongings, and
wow.
I think I was like freelancing on like Call of Duty to kind of pay the bills and keep traveling. But at that time, I think I wanted to take like 3 or 4 months off to really focus on Huxley. And so I was like living in my parents' basement basically, and just like on this little laptop, and just trying to save money. I think I was pretty broke back then, so I was just saving money. Like,
you could tell they do Thanksgiving dinners on this table somewhere.
Yeah. So living in my parents' basement, working on Huxley. I think it was like page 4 or something, and like page 3 or 4 I was working on. There's like a bunch of thumbnails of like other pages I was blocking out, and like, yeah, it's wild how fast time flies. Just grinding away, working on stuff. But yeah, it was a long time ago at the beginning, and just deep in the creative process, just like studying all my favorite things, figuring out where I want to take this, and yeah, it's the beginning is always scary, but you just kind of have to keep pushing through and keep going.
I love that, doing some writing. This is my little character behind you, this art mural here. But writing it, you really gotta, I feel like I have to cry. I feel like I have to like figure out how to cry.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to figure out what like real like melancholy and joy, like you feel those emotions and let the pen take you. Are you so structured in your writing where it has to be perfect, or is it just like word vomit and then you send that to like someone you trust as a editor?
No, I think for me, I kind of let the art lead initially, just because that's just how my brain works. And the writing was more coming later. And I knew what I wanted them to say, but I didn't know specifically what they were going to say. But I knew like the story beats and visual moments that I wanted to happen. And then once I started writing, you can really refine and like, that definitely took time. But again, it's like, I always view it like a sculpture that you're slowly refining until something that you feel you're happy with. So like the first pass of writing was like, I just want to see what would happen, right? And then you go through and read it like, okay, they're definitely talking too much here. That doesn't make any sense. It's weird. Like cut this down, or kind of less is more. Let the art explain more. And because a graphic novel is so different than a novel, right? It is kind of like a hybrid of like a movie and a book. So it's like when are moments you let the art just do the talking, and when should you let the characters explain things? And sometimes you're letting the characters talk too much and explain too much, and it ruins the mystery. So there's always like this push and pull of like, maybe I'm saying too much, let's take some back. Maybe the art needs a little bit something else. And yeah, for me, it's always a constant push and pull, and it's not like a one and done kind of thing or something.
Yeah, some of the best sci-fi I love, or stories and narrative, they like less is more. You know, they have the dream sequences that take you into this other realm, and they let the sounds, the drone sounds, and all the stuff take you. You know, and I feel like when I saw what you did in the theater, you know, having whatever, I don't know if there's a human inside that robot somewhere, but you could see that it could take you into a whole nother like verse, like world, and it can like kind of tell its own story.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's always been the plan, right? Like I'm always, I don't know what the right word is, but I'm always like anxious about like I know the process of getting a big IP made, so I'm like always anxious about like making sure I have all the steps in order. So it's like, okay, I have the book, but if you go into a meeting, they're like, oh, we love this, but what's that going to look like as a movie? Or, oh, that's cool, but what's it going to look like as a game? And like, for me, I'd rather do all that, right? So when that happens, like, oh, this is what it'll look like, or this is how a game would look like, or this is how a novel would look like, or a traditional book or something. And I like to just like do everything before I go out there.
It's a lot of hard work, dude.
Yeah. And I like to do that and like don't talk about it. So for me, it's like, if I'm not talking, it's like, there's a lot of stuff coming. Yeah.
It's so fucking weird, and it's so funny because the last interview we had, I asked you about this guy. He's that same film that I really wish that people would watch it in the dojo. I'm gonna link it to you guys in the dojo. Promise. All the 23 viewers watching. It was one of your friends that you shared on Twitter. He was a Russian dude that created this, like, he was walking through a forest with a mask.
Yeah, Sava.
What is that indie film called, bro? I want to see that become something.
Irradiation, yeah.
Radiation. So when you showed that, and then you showed what you did, the correlation, the amount of work.
Same guy, yeah.
What's his name?
Sava Zakovic.
Sava. Are you still in touch with him?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What is he working on? I don't mean to take away from you, but you're such a humble dude that
so he's a commercial director, so he directs a lot of stuff for like Axis Animation. Like I think he's done like a lot of Destiny trailers and stuff as well.
Wow.
And so he's done a lot of stuff, and yeah, he's super talented and always doing his own projects at the same time. So Irradiation was like his next short film, but he did it all in Unreal 4, I think. And he was saying like just how much faster it is to do things, and he's still trying to get the next one into Unreal 5. And but But again, like me, we're always trying to like tinker and experiment. Like, oh, what if I use this tool? How does that work? And but then when we do that, it's like making a film or making some cool thing.
So with this amount, this leads into my next question. So with the amount of money that you're raising with the mint, are you going to assemble the Avengers like Sava together to work on something bigger? Well, is that something that you want to take the people you kind of grew up with, and kind of bring them into the Huxley universe?
I would say so. Like, I mean, that's just how, like, I like to put the, like, anything that happens, I always try to make the best art. I want to make the best products and projects. Like when I made the trailer stuff, like that was, I didn't have a lot of money, and like basically that was maybe like a year ago or 2 years ago now, and that's basically all the money I made.
That's one of the best things I've ever seen.
So, but I mean, it was worth it. Like that was worth it to me. Like it was like a year of like me spending every penny I earned outside of like rent and food to make something that I believed in, and I believed in the team. And it was just like, tell me how much this costs and I'll figure it out. I don't have that much, but I'll figure it out. And so if I got to eat cup of noodle all year to make the art that I believe will be amazing, then I'll do that. And that's just kind of my personality, right? Like the same thing with other things I'm in the middle of now. It's like tell me how much this will cost and how long it will take you to do a great job on this. And I want to work with you. Like, let's figure something out. And that's just kind of, I don't know, that's just my personality. And I want to make the coolest things with great people. And yeah, I'm excited to see where all this goes.
I need to play a soundbite for you. Here you go.
Alpha plays only.
Alpha plays only. Guys, you don't hear that often because I'm not trying to let my stream crash. All right, I'm using a droid of a PC. Okay, so the sound bites have to come sparingly. Ben Mauro says King moves for show. Yeah, baby, for sure. You guys wanted to hear that for sure. 25 viewers. I don't know what the likes, but thank you, Meta, for telling people like the stream. Yeah, man, I feel like every time we have a conversation, it just flows. It's just natural.
For sure.
I really am proud of you not giving up and sticking to your guns, holding the reins. When I see the landscape of the space, you're coming in hard. You're coming in hard. I don't think people really realize how hard you're coming. You know, seeing what Punk's Comic is doing and Bored Ape's doing IRL events, and maybe Tarantino is thinking about this, but I feel like you're going to supersede and pass. I like Punk's Comics, don't get me wrong, but I like you a lot more. Did you take any kind of, I know their tokenomics into Huxley in consideration, or is that the feature side? Because you guys do have a little bit of the same burn mechanism.
Sure, like for me, it's always just keeping track of like what's out there, what's working, like what collectors want, and a lot of it is also asking collectors and getting feedback from the community. And so if people want a certain thing, I'm open to adding it. And it felt like people really enjoyed the kind of like gamification that a lot of projects had, and so adding certain things that make sense. And then there's a lot of things that everyone else is doing is like maybe gets too complicated, or it kind of goes into another direction that maybe isn't really right for Huxley. So it's like, what is right for this particular project, and adding things that make sense, and maybe don't add things that don't really quite fit, because every project is different, right? So like some projects, it makes sense to do some like 100 different things, but for Huxley, just keeping a couple of them, I think is pretty fitting for now. And yeah, it's like, what is the end goal of it, right? For me, the end goal of Huxley is like to build this crazy IP and universe and all these different entertainment properties with it. And I don't want to get too far into like making all these little things, because then all my time is spent on those instead of these bigger things. So just trying to balance that out a bit, to make sure too much of my time isn't spent on some things instead of these really big things that I think people will be super excited about later on.
Yeah, because very sparingly. I mean, right now we're still in the. I always say it. We're in the floppy disk era. You know, you got the Mila Kunis and the Ashton Kutchers working on Stoner Cats, and you don't have, you know, right now like Cass Vegas. Shout out to Cass Vegas. She's probably one of the most perfect people on your team. She said that now with NFTs you get to know the BTS, the behind the scenes, the artist that was involved. You actually get to decentralize the movie in a sense, or the IP, and kind of unpack it. And but I feel like with me being an influencer in the space, there's going to be another Ben Mauro coming in the next 3 years that doesn't have a lot, that has great you know, content and stuff like that. But what we're seeing with you right now is history in the making. I cannot stress that enough. It's literally like Mark the Habibi said this to me. He's like, when a person's time has come, no force can stop it. So I think the time for Huxley is now, and no force is gonna stop it.
Yeah, I think too, like I spent so long kind of working in like stealth mode because again, I don't know if it's like anxiety or like I always just want to have the thing done before I talk about it or do anything. So like if I'm starting to talk about it, it means it's like this product is ready to go and like I did all the work. So it's like that's to me the most exciting part, is just like this is all, there's a mountain of thing that's ready and we're just getting these little pieces out to everyone. And
we're going gem mining.
So it's that's the most exciting thing. Like the product is done. Like, so I mean, I'm sure there's like a bunch of other things being created and people come to the space, but like there's like 10 years of stuff done, like ready for everyone, which I think
were you not anxious to like, because I know Steven said talk about your idea in the elevator, stuff like that. I don't really trust people that much. I don't really want to talk about my idea in the elevator. I want to talk it to the right people like you or something. But was that hard? Like not to? Did you literally not talk at all? Like in Hollywood or your friends?
I didn't.
Sheesh, dude.
I mean, maybe like
paranoid.
Maybe just. Well, it's like back to the like whenever I mean, like when a movie comes out, right? We're just like, wow, that was so original. Like The Matrix, or like an Alien with like a geeker design, where you're just like, I've never seen that before. Like that's so different. And like I feel like that would not have happened if they talked about it and showed every single person in the world their idea for years before they release it. Be like, oh, we saw that already. Oh yeah, The Matrix, that's cool, but we saw that design, or we saw this thing already. Like, yeah, we, you know, like holding back something to allow it to gestate and become something really different and unique, I feel like is a hard thing to do now with information just being shared so easily. So like for me, part of it was just that side of things. Like I want to put this in a pressure cooker and turn it into something that's hopefully quite different by the time it comes out. And a lot of it came more from that side of things, like wanting to hopefully make something different and new, and like just feels fresh, I guess. I hope was my hope.
One word comes to mind: everlasting. I always say it's everlasting. It's just an everlasting thing now that you can attach tokenomics, community, games. Can you speak to me about this Access Pass, bro? When I seen Access Passes before. Fuck. And the first time I ever saw a great Access Pass, you know, you could say Meta Key, Parallels Prime Key, the Watcher has the Data Key, and this is what you can't leak anything with this Access Pass.
I don't think I can talk about it at the moment, but it's something that's being planned, but it'll probably be a little later, but it's in the works for sure.
Nice. And talk about the issues. How is that redeeming of an actual comic coming soon?
That'll all be on. That's okay. Yeah, that'll all be on Genesis Week. So the countdown timer on the tokenomics page on the website has a timer at the bottom, and we'll be doing the redemption, the burn, and everything around that ending of that time frame. Yeah.
Nice. Is Genesis
excited for everyone to get their books. Yeah, I really want my physical as well.
Is Genesis Week like big for you? Is that like gonna be a big rollout? Is that gonna be like the red carpet comes out?
I think so. Yeah, it's gonna be because there's gonna be so many things happening at once, right? Like seeing how many people burn stuff, seeing how many people want to do this or that, and I think that kind of chaos is exciting to me because I have no idea what's going to happen. Like maybe people choose to do this or that, and yeah, it's just planning for these moments or events where the community has to decide is a cool thing to me, at least, just to see. And even like auction week, right? Like just planning for a cool moment and event, and it's been pretty exciting to see everyone dive in and get excited about just a whole week of basically auctions and stuff, and seeing what happens and turning it into this kind of cool mini event, you know.
Alpha plays only.
That alpha plays only is for you, Rai. Ryan got in the building. Oh damn! Look at these legends, Rai. He's an underrated ass streamer. I would love for you to talk to him sometime, Ben. He has a great show.
Sure. Yeah.
He was early in parallel and like
Awesome.
me, and he's a fucking sci-fi legend in my sci-fi content creator. But he's just a legend. Ned Moore said Huxley is everlasting. Get it tatted. That there was that party, the last party at Capitol. Did you go to that one? No, you left early.
Yeah, I had to leave on Thursday morning, I think. Yeah, I missed some of the last the Thursday stuff.
For sure. I wanted to ask you. There was a video like that. I said you making a game. You know, you have a reloading gun of a gun.
Sure.
You have the Huxley universe. This was a year ago. What's up with that update? Unreal Engine 5. Is that something you're tampering with? Have you been tampering with that? Because in essence, I'm giving alpha without giving alpha away right now, just by like leading you into this path.
Yeah, so like I think it was for a Kitbash 3D stream where I thought it'd be cool to use one of their kits and try to see how, because at the time I hadn't really touched Unreal, so it was like, let me see what's possible in Unreal, and that kind of got a lot of the wheels turning, because I definitely want to do that later, but that was like an early just experiment to see what was possible in Unreal, and basically building like a giant city that could be in the Huxley universe and running around and figuring out how to put like a custom gun in Unreal. And yeah, so if you know me, it's like I do all these experiments and they always lead to something else.
Let me see if I can break my stream here. I'm gonna play the video for people to watch. Hold on, let me switch. It's happening now. Everyone's actually seeing what you created.
Sure.
This looks serious. Is that the ships you designed?
I think a lot of these are I think most of those are just like assets from Unreal Store, because I just wanted to see what I could create, but whatever does get created will be like my stuff.
Holy moly, bro. Unreal Engine 5 allows you to bake a lot of these textures that you're going for, because a lot of your figures have a lot of textures. You know, the Demon, Max. There's a lot. You know, the hologram that you showed in that had a lot of details. Do you think that kind of details are gonna live into this like universe?
The tests I've done in Unreal 5 importing models, like it looks like, it looks exact, you know, like, so it's been exciting to see that, because Unreal 5 can allow you, I haven't gone too far, but like it basically allows you to just create anything without worry for like polygon limit and stuff with Nanite. And their Lumen technology allows the lighting to be like so much more realistic, and so that was one thing with Unreal 4. Like it was a cool experiment, but like you still had to like optimize and dumb things down to run smoothly. But I feel like Unreal 5, in a lot of the stuff I have seen, it allows for these more crazy HD assets, so you can get like, I don't know, like Mandalorian or like Blur level like actual game, which is just incredible.
Oh my god. And I'm also gonna go to the end of the video where you leak Max in that full form.
The early teaser, yeah.
Bro. That's literally an Easter egg, dude. You put an Easter egg in this shit.
Yeah.
Why? Why did you put an Easter egg? The textures and when he looks up, when his eyes and shit, and it's like it's like everlasting. I don't know if the audio is playing on this because it's muted. Sheesh. Let's go back to Ben. I'm so happy. The chat literally is going crazy seeing that game going absolutely bonkers. Chat is crazy right now.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, again, this is like my background and like sort of been doing my whole career. So like, just.
Someone said they got an NFT wood. What the fuck is that? Oh shit, it's so fucking dope. Holy moly. Metamore said one Huxley flip Halo.
Let's see. But again, like because I've come from that background, this is why I prefer not to like claim too much stuff or say too much stuff early, because I know how long this stuff takes, you know, like me coming out there and being like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, when
I'm gonna give you a roadmap and I'm gonna give you this, and then we're gonna do a Twitter space.
We're gonna go to outer space and this, you know. Like that stuff's really great in the short term, I think, but the long term, if you have no idea how to build all that stuff, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, because like making a AAA game is years and years and years of people's lives with like thousands of people on a team, and like I don't think a lot of people understand the amount of effort it actually takes to make a AAA game in 2021. And so like when I see people throw that around like so easy, I'm just like, I don't think you know what you're talking about.
No, we got a soundbite for that. Wait, hear this. Wait up.
It's like
it's tough, you know.
So it's like I'd rather talk and show stuff when I actually have it, and you guys can be like, oh my god, I can play this now, or like it's all like you can actually see something, because just saying that I think is a bit disingenuous and irresponsible if you've never done any of that before, because it's like some people who raise like all this money, I'm like, that will get you 4 characters and half of a level, and they think that'll give them like 20 games. I'm like, in 2021 that's like 3 characters and half a level, guys. Like,
can you speak on what a full game would cost? No one being the expert here, and I think that's something I don't have to search Google for. It's like, because all these PFPs always say we're going with a game, and you just literally.
Well, it depends on the game. I think Parallel has been smart. Like a card game is much more realistic and achievable, and I feel like they've been very smart and realistic about their expectations. But other things were like, we're gonna make the next whatever, like Star Citizen or something else. It's like, okay, Star Citizen's been going on for how many years? Like 10 years. The game's still not done. There's what they have is really cool, but it's still not finished, right? So if someone's claiming like we're gonna do that, but Star Citizen was like thousands of people for like 10 plus years with one of the best game designers in the world who has experience making those games his whole life. And then if someone, anonymous person is saying that they're going to do that, like that's, I don't know about that.
Jeez, bro, let's get realistic. Let's have just Disney come in and Pixar and Marvel and let them just, you know, that's why having you and even Metamore kind of pull it full home circle. He said under-promise and over-deliver is the fucking way. Got a lot of faith in Ben's ability to over-deliver. His connection and history in the gaming industry is unparalleled. We're gonna fucking make it. Elbow cough.
But yeah, like cost of games. Like I remember some streamers like maybe like Dr. Disrespect or someone was like, when he worked on Call of Duty, because I think he worked on a few Call of Duties, and he was saying like, when we were working on the game, a multiplayer level is probably like $5 to $8 million just for one multiplayer level. And like, I probably haven't calculated on the games I've worked on, but I would say that's because it's just so many people involved, so many different moving pieces, so many different studios.
Is it render farms too that you have to use?
Not really render farms, but just like, I think a lot of what people don't understand is like building things is one thing, but then you need to optimize to make sure it works in like every possible scenario, right? So like some people are playing on a really bad system or an old system for like 10 years ago, and you have to make sure the game scales down to that. Like even a mobile game, like
All
can
levels.
you're, and it's not just about making it for like the 30-90 people. You have to do it for all these different possible scenarios, and that's just so much work and so many different people involved. So like just making a model is not that difficult, but making sure it fits and works and is optimized for all these different things is just, it's just so much work. It's just
What about the technical part too? Bugs, and is that like someone you have to hire to like always process and look?
I think different teams, like usually the main team will do that, but there's always, I mean, like AAA games, it's so big now. Like if you look at, I mean, Call of Duty comes out every year, right? And they have like 3 main dedicated studios, but then they also have probably like 4 or 5 other studios that all help to make each game. So you've got like maybe 7 studios all helping to make this game come out every year. And each studio maybe has like 300 to 700 people, maybe 1,000 people. Like that's so many people just to make one game. It's just an astronomical amount of work to make a game.
Yeah, keep dropping those second species, third species, fourth species, raise all that ETH, 300 ETH, and get a game for sure. I'm looking at the Bored Apes. They they revealed the game, but it was like pixels. You know, it's like that's in their realm. You know, it looks fun.
Sure, but again, stuff like that helps. That's easier. I mean, it's still difficult, but it's less time intensive and work intensive. If you're making like, if they made every ape like AAA crazy detail, like that's just so much, astronomically more time. So keeping it simpler, like pixel art, and that would be a lot more achievable and doable for finalizing and finishing a game. But even then, like Nintendo still makes very simple pixel art game, and they spend like 5 to 7 years on some of these sometimes. And when they come out, they're incredible, and the world loves them, and we play the heck out of them. But it takes a long time to make a good game. I think is that who's the creator of Mario again? Is it, oh my god,
fuck,
brain fart. It's not Miyazaki, is it? No, it's not.
Creator of Mario. His name is
Miyamoto. That's it.
Miyamoto.
Yeah. So the famous Miyamoto quote is like, a delayed game can eventually be good, but a rush game is forever bad. And it's so true, right? Like, just take the time and make it right, make it good, because once it's out there, it's just like you can't undo that.
Yeah. Take that Ben Mauro playbook, play out of his playbook. Keep it close to the chest. Don't talk about it. And when it's ready, it's ready. I have 2 more questions before I let you skedaddle. Actually, maybe 3. But seeing Cass there, Cass Vegas, she was networking with Gary Vee. She's a powerful feminine force in the NFT space.
For sure.
We really are a male dominated space. And just to see her shine come through, and I really will try to get everyone over to her channel and what she's about. She had to make a big decision with Tom Sachs going with that team. I think they wanted her, and then you guys wanted her. Why did you think she chose you guys? Tom Sachs is a big name, you know. It's like,
sure,
it's huge. It's like Gary Vee, all these people are loving Tom Sachs, and she chose you, and I thought that was huge.
I think a lot of that was on the feature side, but like I think when Steven and the team talks more about like what they're actually creating, it's incredibly exciting and also very new, and no one else is doing this. So for me, that was the draw as well, to like work with them, because innovation is, I'm just always attracted to innovation, people trying to do new stuff. And I feel like that might have been a lot of her reasoning as well, because it's like, I got a lot of pitches from a lot of people as well, and everyone was kind of doing the same thing, or like, okay, OpenSea made the model, or this website made the model, and everyone's just trying to do a variant of this thing. And
Polygon, come here.
But when you see like people trying to do something new, you're like, wow, if this takes off, this is going to be like huge, and it's worth, to me, it's I'm willing to like go for it and try the new thing and see what happens. And yeah, to me, the new and risk taking and innovation is always the most exciting to me.
I love that. Some Rebel Joker, a homie's giving some advice, I guess, to you guys. Said, hey, Young, I was just looking at Huxley's website. Ben should change the wording of airdrops to claims airdrops can be considered a security.
I'll let the team know.
Yeah, let the team know. I don't know if that's valid. Maybe look up some NFT lawyers, but the homie's always been clutch.
Yeah, we can check with the NFT lawyer. Check in with the NFT lawyers.
Check with the NFT attorney. Feature is meeting that team, the way you guys synergize. I think a conversation there, we were talking about the Mandalorian and how you can just film something in like a closed ingrained studio now. The full green screen, full lights, the whole LEDs. Do you think that that's something they're like, I think they know how to tap into that, like one-stop shop
for sure.
Unreal.
I mean, that's always been yeah, like if a Huxley show got made, I could see a lot of different things happening, right? Like there could be the Mandalorian where it's like a couple suits and things that get made and the rest is virtual stage, virtual production, full CG, or could be full live action kind of thing. There's a lot of things that I think could work, or maybe a bit of both, or a bit of all of them, depending where things go. But yeah, I think there's a lot of possibilities and a lot of cool things, and there's already a lot of stuff that's already completed, like as proof of concept of like what certain types of those things could look like. And I think it's already pretty like I'd want to see that.
Who wouldn't want to see that? Dude, I'll be watching that shit on Apple TV. If Apple TV exclusive, hopefully Huxley Apple TV exclusive, like Finch and Foundation.
That Foundation quality, yeah.
Yeah, for real. Just everything. Is it cheaper to film it that way, you think, or is it in the same realm of that, $5 million Call of Duty multiplayer level?
It probably is way more cost effective, right? Because before, what would they have to do? Like the old Star Wars movies, like, all right, we're gonna go fly to the desert in like Northern Africa or something to get that perfect desert. And I'm sure that's so much more expensive than like, let's build the desert in Unreal and everyone go to the set, and we can film it. That would save so much money. Just to like, all right, Ben, go make the desert in Unreal, and then we're gonna film at lunchtime.
So like, good. But still, I feel like the money has to come from like the designer of the environment. He might have to be charging more, or you think it's going to be a competitive market where people undercut each other just so they can get the deals. There needs to be something, because you guys are literally saving the film industry a bunch of time, and that's like valuable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'd be interesting. But I guess I would hope that because they're saving so much money on not having to fly all over the world for all these cool shots, a lot of that saved budget goes to the VFX team and these crews. But knowing, in my experience, that's probably not going to happen. But that opens up a lot of stuff for those guys to try out some of the NFT space.
For sure, dude. It's like, hey, you want to undercut me, Marcus Scorsese, with your new Unreal Engine sci-fi film? Fuck it, I'm gonna do my own. Go make new work, go make another gangster film. Rai said, need to pick up 4 more copies after this convo. I already have 1, but that isn't enough. You're talking to, that's a serious collector too. So my friends are your friends, Ben, and your friends are my friends. The lads are in the building. They said the Sensei. Shout out to the lads, NFTGURU, Ronan. I know you met them over there, right? Ronan, NFTGURU.
Yeah, that was awesome. We all just, it was cool gathering for sure.
They're so loving. They're so underrated.
For sure.
I know they had Art City, Cast Vegas on your stuff. They did a live reaction of a trailer. Someone said, got 5 now, need 5 more. Dude, I have 25 of these goddamn things. I'm going for 30.
Woo.
Do I get something as a 25 holder, dude? Come on, give me something, bro. Give me a shirt.
Yeah.
What can I do? What do people have to do to get a shirt, dude? 25? Because I'm already there.
We'll figure something out. We gotta figure something out for sure.
Someone asked
because these were an early test I did on like Amazon, and the quality was okay, but I think we're trying to figure out like something more high quality, like screen printing or something. And I think after a couple washes, you kind of maybe start deteriorating a little bit.
Bro, let me get that off your back. Put it in a frame. Sign it in a silver Sharpie.
No, we got to figure something out. Yeah, I want merch. I definitely want merch because the shirt already looks really cool. Like I've been wearing this for like, like 7 years or something. So like, gotta get it out there for everyone who wants to wear it and stuff.
Dude, you guys, that merch is fire. It goes into this maybe this last question I have, but before I head to that question, you know that I think the multiverse of Spider-Man trailer drops today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's exciting. I can't wait.
It drops today.
Nice.
I correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I saw a bunch of leaks that the shit drops today, and I cannot wait to see that.
That's gonna be cool.
That's like bridging the story back to like it's like that. Is that something you want to do in Huxley, like fully bring back characters? I'm pretty sure your mind is so advanced in the final form of
Huxley. There's definitely some really. I tried to do some interesting story arcs and twists that I still have not seen in a entertainment, and that leaves me hopeful that people really dig the kind of narrative that I wrote, because again, it's like the ending is always what we remember and always what we leave with. And like they talked about on the Spaces the other day, it's like, Star Wars has that iconic, just like the bad guy being the good guy's father, like that's been done. And if you have like, even if you had the most original like universe that created, if you had a similar arc or twist, then people be like, that's just Star Wars. Even if they loved everything up to that point, it's just like, I've already heard that before. Next, it's like, you got to have something that is cool and new and unexpected, that people are like, oh wow, that's fascinating. I never saw it before. It's like really add something new to science fiction and storytelling that I haven't experienced before. And I feel like that's always the hard thing that I've been trying to chase. And I hope by the time everyone reads it, nothing has come out that has a similar kind of like twist or narrative.
That would be
threads intertwining.
For real.
But yeah, so I'm excited for everyone to.
It's funny you mentioned the niche, because looking at Isaac Asimov, did he mean something to you? Because seeing the vault and just seeing how that is interacting, it's a whole new thing I haven't seen in sci-fi, and I'm happy that like George Lucas didn't take that, or people didn't take that idea. I know his stuff is copywritten and IP, but
well, I think it's fascinating because like wasn't Foundation for like so long considered like unfilmable, like it's too complicated, it's like spanning thousands and thousands of years, so everyone's like, this is too difficult, and so maybe no one copied it because they thought it was just like too difficult of a thing to film anyway. And so it's kind of awesome to see Foundation finally bringing it all to the screen, and all those ideas are still really fresh because no one really like kind of had the gusto to like go for something that huge. So it's really cool to see everything brought to the screen in that way.
And I feel like with the Unreal Engine and stuff they're doing there, I don't know, they're probably tapping into that where it could kind of make some of these most complex stories and give them the justice they deserve.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be more and more common, just a virtual production or like doing things in Unreal. And what's fascinating though too is like working on like Huxley stuff. It's like, that was my hope, is like, okay, I work on this, it's too heavy to do in a game, but I hope that when Unreal 5 comes out, we can just use all that stuff, so it's not like having to start all over again. And luckily that did happen with Unreal 5, where it's just like, okay, we can use all this stuff one-to-one. And I mean, we'll still have to see like optimizing and stuff, like if it really runs okay, if you actually want to make a game. Like I was saying, optimization is like a huge part of it, where this all looks amazing with these crazy Megascan stuff, but then it's like the moment you get two people in a server, it just like destroys and no one can play anything, it's like, well, then it doesn't matter how good it looks if no one can play it, you know. So it'll be interesting to see like what a final product will look like with all this cool tech, once seeing if it actually works and with a certain amount of people you want to play with and all that kind of good stuff.
I'll say it again. When those two characters come in there, they're gonna be everlasting. It's gonna be an everlasting experience, for sure. What is your stance on meta? What Zuckerberg is doing, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna be able to integrate some of these Huxley fashion items. You have the helmets, you know, these certain fashion pieces.
Well, I mean, no one knows what they're actually going to be doing, so it'll be interesting to see how they roll things out. And I think John Carmack had some, like, I don't know if he had like harsh words or stern words about stuff like that, but like he said something like, when the internet happened, you didn't have companies saying, I'm going to be the internet company and I'm going to make the internet, you know, it just kind of happened like slowly over a lot of years, progressed like incrementally. It happened over a lot of years, but it's cool that people are like really pushing to like.
It's nice that you're just trying to centralize the metaverse in a sense. It's cute.
Yeah, but it's good that they're trying to like invest resources to like help jumpstart that happening. I'm not sure what will happen, but if they can build it up in such a way that like the Facebook audience who isn't very tech savvy can be like, oh, I can sell something on my Facebook marketplace, but now it's in the metaverse. Like that sort of path to like people who aren't very experienced will be, I think, important later on. But the idea of like, we're going to create this and we're going to be the thing, I'm not sure that's the way it works, you know, because like who created the internet, you know, it's just like, it just kind of happened slowly over a lot of years, you know.
A lot of these rich PFP like whales and stuff, they say, hey, you know, we'll just, like we invest in, we'll just sell our ape and then we'll invest it all together in some type of decentralized metaverse. If, you know, especially if they start using a lot of these coders and developers, that information is going to spread, you know. And by the time we have these technologies, 5G, 6G, whatever the fuck it is, we'll have all these like, we'll have all these resources that, you know, they're not going to put everyone under contract. I don't think they're going to put everybody in their team under contract.
It'll be interesting because like each side wants the extreme, right? Complete decentralization or complete centralization. I feel like it'll probably end up being somewhere in the middle. Potentially, I don't know. You know, no one.
Yeah, where do
really
you take
knows,
the dark web into the metaverse too? Like,
I don't know, but it's like right, like there's a lot of amazing things about decentralization, but a lot of bad things too. Like someone gets scammed, it's like that's it, you lost all your stuff, it's over. Whereas like at a bank, if something happens, it's like, oh yeah, we got you, you're insured, don't worry about it. So like, if the metaverse is like so far in one direction where it's like, if you lose all your stuff, it's all over. Like, there's probably going to be some middle ground where some sort of security or some sort of like assurances that if something happens, they got you or something would be pretty cool. Or just more of like less anxiety inducing, I guess, if you wake up and all your stuff is gone or something. But I was going to say, like, the analogy of like what we're talking about here, like seeing open source programs like Blender, which like 10 years ago were a joke, but slowly but surely, because it's open source, all these people add this really cool stuff to it over the years. And now Blender is like a powerhouse. I use that every day for my work. And it's like, you know, all these legacy programs that used to be the kings are now like copying things from Blender because of the nature of it being open source. And it does take longer, but because all these people, these highly intelligent people are just adding cool things to it, it becomes this very dynamic and diverse thing because of just that open source nature that I think is a very fascinating thing to watch and could very well be a way for a very interesting decentralized metaverse to happen, where like, I think there was a story from Blender where they were talking about how someone added a game engine into Blender that they didn't have the time or resources to make anything like that, but it was just this like genius level coder that was working at a big company that they would never have been able to afford to hire. and he just wanted to have something fun to do with his son at night. So every night they would go and he would code a game engine so his son could build little games within Blender. And then he finished it and was just like, hey guys, here's something I wrote for
Sheesh.
as like something I want to do with my son. And then that gets added into Blender and it becomes, it benefits everyone, this whole giant community. And I think things like that are incredibly fascinating and could lead to a very, very cool like way to do an open source metaverse that will just kind of organically happen if but again, there's still like a Blender foundation that helps funnel and filter something. So I mean, you kind of see stuff like that happening already, like with Super Rare. Like initially it was a bit more centralized and now they're like, okay, we have the rare token in the DAO and like allowing a bit more decentralized and open source curation and so it'll be interesting to see if something like this happens where maybe it starts with like a lot of good people with a good idea and then they kind of open it up a bit to allow it to kind of organically grow in such a way that can create something bigger than they would have done if they were trying to control everything.
I love that. Speaking, and it's funny with the son and with the father and his son, just there. I feel like that gets fostered through not only community, but there's a reason why we like going to the box office and being inspired by these stories, the Star Wars of the universe, the Matrix, the the Chappies, all these stories that inspire subconsciously inspire these fathers that then inspire their sons, and it gives this like egalitarian thing. We right now in this time we really can plug in and kind of change the world. I don't want to sound corny, but we can bake our ideas into the model. We can be righteous. We can share. We can make some open source stuff. We can do an event around our favorite IPs. And that's what's special about this conversation and what you're building, what I'm trying to build. It's just it's like an atom bomb being formed to kind of just bring the vibe, bring this world we want to see. And I think it starts in the creative process, because how could you make a cyber city without the creator like yourself, the concept designer? How could you make these elites? They don't really see it that way. They need to visualize it, the prototype, the Tesla, the Cybertruck. All this stuff comes from the artist's hand, and I think it's a beautiful time we're in.
Yeah, for sure. And it's cool because like I was saying in some of the talks, like I was impatient when I was almost halfway done, and had I released that half of it, like 4 years ago or whatever, this never would have happened, because I would have released a product in the Web 2 and now it would have been out there in Web 2 and I probably couldn't have used it, and I would have, but because I waited and just said, I'm going to finish this, I'm going to wait till it's ready, it kind of overlapped with this kind of digital revolution. It was like, it's just very fascinating. Just like wait until the time is right, until you're done, and you have no idea what's going to come up in the world and technology and these kind of like fortuitous events that kind of line up that we can't really see coming.
I love that. And someone said, Huxley, love the title. How did you arrive at this title?
I think I mentioned that a few times when I was drawing the orange robot, Huxley. That was when I was, it takes a long time to finish a painting, and while I was painting him, it's just like that was his name. Like in my mind, like that was his name. Nothing was going to tell me otherwise, and I was coming up with stories when I was finishing it, and it's just like
Huxley seems like he has some girth. It's like girthy.
Yeah.
Huxley girthy. It's a big boy. That robot.
Yeah.
Someone said, I'll do with Huxley. Okay, cool. Dude, this was great.
Yeah, thanks again.
I love it's like the time flew by. It's like an hour and a half flew by, I guess. And thanks for just being awesome. I think eventually I'm probably gonna set up a parallel. I'm talking a parallel after this. Probably gonna do like a sci-fi interoperable stream with Parallel and you, maybe your team. I would love for us to all just talk sci-fi in a sense, because they're nerding out. And I wanted you to come to that thing. It's just shit was we gotta set that up for sure.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I'm totally down. Those guys are doing awesome stuff.
You, Parallel, and Watcher are my sci-fi trinity, holy trinity, and it's like my cowbell. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Good sound. It's my thing. It's a dystopian book, Brave New World. Cool. I love that. Dude, this is the part of the show where I hit the gong and let you channel your inner sensei. You can shill something you could say about the auctions, but the gong is yours. Here goes. The floor is yours.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks again, Young, for having me on. Check out the last few auctions for the low serial Huxley issues. Serial number 4 is ending in about an hour and a half. Serial number 3 is a few hours after that, and then serial 1 and 2 with the logo frame and all the cool stuff that's included in those is ending tomorrow. And yeah, thanks again for everyone who's interested in Huxley, and thanks for being on this journey with me.
I love that, dude. When can I be an alien in the background? CGI me in. Just have the
when we get we got to make you a character in there somehow.
For real, make me a fucking soda man. Fill in the soda machines with the alien pop. You know, with the
gotta do something cool. Yeah. Young robot. You could be a young robot or something. Yeah.
Don't tempt me with a good time. Okay. Dude, thanks again. We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
Everyone live the dream, eat ice cream, and above all, stay content. Peace. And shout out to the chat. You guys are undefeated. Peace out, Ben.
Thanks. See you, John. Later, guys.
Join the hunt, goddammit. You know what to do.
Join the hunt.
Everyone is right now. Everyone is minting. I think you probably have a bunch of different mints. I know Rai-Rai's in. I got to do my mint, but that's for later when gas is.
Yeah.
All right. Later, homie. Peace.